Do you want to grow your business, but you're not really sure how to go about doing it? If so, this video is for you. I'm going to be going over a super helpful tip that's going to save you a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of stress every single day in your business. Because today I'm going to be walking you through how to hire a virtual assistant. If you are looking to grow your business or you're looking to get a little bit of extra help, a VA is the perfect way to do so on a budget. However, if you're not careful, it can actually end up costing you a lot of money. Let's talk about the issues I had when I first hired a VA. When I hired a VA, I had no idea what I was doing. I reached out to a bunch of people on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and I was absolutely inundated with messages. I have so many messages that people were reaching out to me and I could not even accept the message request. That is how many people will be willing to help you in your business if you ask for it. However, I don't want you to have the same pitfalls I did. So let's go over the 3 non-negotiables that you must have whenever you are hiring a VA. If you don't have one of these 3 negotiables, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money, and you're just going to frustrate yourself. And I'm not making this up. Go ahead and take a look at this message here. This is the first week that I hired my VA. She was asking me all these questions, and I'm very lucky. My VA was very willing to learn with me and move along with me. However, I did meet some other VAs who were very advanced in their business. If you're not sure what business maturity is, go ahead and check out this video here. It'll help you. But they were already more advanced in their businesses. So when I reached out to them and said, hey, I need a little help getting this set up, no response. And the one response that I did get was not super nice. I don't want this to happen to you. So let's go ahead and jump into these 3 non-negotiables. The first non-negotiable that you must have whenever you are trying to start work with a VA is you need an SOP. SOP stands for Standard Operating Procedure. A standard operating procedure is basically everything that you hope to achieve and how you plan on doing it. This is crucial. If you do not have an SOP, a VA is not going to help you grow your business. I see this all the time. I see it on Facebook. People say, hire a VA, have them grow your audience, have them do this, have them do that. The thing is, if we take a couple steps back, I was actually on a consultation with one of these companies on Facebook that says for $8,000, hey, we can get your business up and running and you will not have to worry about anything. The issue is they mentioned SOP, they mentioned VA, they kind of walked me through their process and I already had a good idea of what I needed to do. But if you do not, and you start talking to one of these companies, they're going to say, hire a VA. They're going to, do all this stuff in the background. Your business is going to boom. What they're not telling you is that you have to have the SOP, the standard operating procedure. The standard operating procedure doesn't have to be rocket science. Basically, you have a goal. Your goal could be grow your audience by 500 people in 3 months on LinkedIn. By the way, totally doable to grow your audience by 500 people in 3 months. As a matter of fact, I think it's a bit small. But if you don't have this goal set out first, there's no way for you to create a process for your virtual assistant to go through and start to follow your operating procedures for you to reach this goal. Here is why the SOP is crucial. If you do not have it, you are not giving your VA a clear plan to follow in order for you to reach your goal. That is from the VA perspective. As a business owner, what's the problem if you don't have an SOP? If you don't have an SOP for a virtual assistant, as a business owner, you're not going to have any key performance indicators, KPIs. These are super important in business. They help you see if your business is growing, if it's shrinking, or if it is stagnant and stuck. You need to have KPIs developed. But before you can develop a key performance indicator, you must have your goal. So whenever we think about SOP over here, we think about goal. How do I reach that goal? How do I know if I'm reaching that goal? So SOP can really be broken down into 3 parts: goal, process, results. How are you going to measure each one of these? And if you're hiring a VA, the first thing you have to do is get this SOP and give it to them. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to track what they're doing. They're not going to know what you want them to do. And trust me, it's just going to end up in a big convolution of what the heck am I doing? How do I get here?
How do I get out of it?
So save yourself the time and hassle, make an SOP before you hire a virtual assistant. Trust me, it'll help you. And it doesn't have to be anything extravagant. As a matter of fact, this is my first SOP. As you can see, I kind of just wrote it in Sweet Dash, which is one project management platform that I use. Didn't really work out too well. It was very difficult for me and for this VA to follow because it's not the system that I use in another business of mine. So what did I do? I just switched it. And as you can see now here, we are doing everything completely on Apple Notes. I make the SOP here. I share it with her. She reviews it. If she has any sort of feedback, she pings it over to me, and immediately my computer pops up with a little notification and says, hey, your VA wants you to change something, or your VA has added something. So don't make this SOP very long and drawn out. Keep it short, keep it simple, stupid. Let me rephrase that. Keep it simple, stupid. You are not stupid. You are very intelligent, especially if you're watching my videos. But keep it simple. Keep it light, because the thing is, no matter what you put down on paper the first time, you're going to fix it again and again and again, because that is a strategy for you to win. So first non-negotiable for hiring a VA, make sure you have an SOP. The next thing you need to make sure you have is a data collection sheet. This is generally attached to your SOP. So for example, for me, one of the things in my SOP was grow my social media audiences. Well, there's no way for me to track and make sure my VA is doing this unless I have a data collection sheet. Here's an example of my data collection sheet for YouTube. Here is a sample of my data collection sheet for my social media with my VA. If you would like access to either one of these, I do have a prompt below that you can claim. Just click the link and I'll send it right over to you. That way you can have some sort of structure and start to grow your business as well. As you can see, both of these are attached to a goal, and that goal is attached to the SOP. So as you can see, it kind of cascades down. We have to start with the SOP, and then after that, we have to have our data collection sheets. I prefer to use Google Sheets. I think they are great, and everybody pretty much has access to them, unless they live in China. That's a different story. But for the most part, everybody you're going to work with is going to have Google. So make sure that you have a data collection sheet set up and your SOP before you hire a VA. Now, you might be thinking,
But Sean, I hired a VA to make my life easier.
I thought so too. But the thing is, it wasn't making my life easier to delegate all these tasks to somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. So hear me, heed my warning, pay attention. Make sure that when you are delegating, you have everything listed out, you have it written out. That way you don't have any issues moving forward. It also makes sure that you are holding your VA accountable for the work they are doing, and they're also holding you accountable for your role as their manager. So as you can see, it leads to a lot of transparency, and I promise you, both of these are going to make your life a lot easier. And the last thing that you must have if you're trying to hire a VA is tools and resources for them to use. Now, this doesn't always need to be a data collection sheet. It doesn't have to be a project management system. However, if you want them to reach a goal, you need to give them the tools that they need in order to reach that goal. I was talking to another business owner the other day, and he said,
Hey Sean, your VA seems to get everything done. Mine doesn't. What's going on here?
to which I replied, well, let me see the tools and resources that you are giving your VA for her to complete her job every single day, which brings me into this piece of software here. This is a piece of software that I use to help with my content repurposing. I bought this specifically for my VA because I wanted her to be able to move and complete tasks more quickly. And you might be thinking,
But Sean, if I'm paying her hourly or I'm paying her a set salary, why would I want her to be able to complete things more quickly?
the thing is, the nicer you are to your employees, the nicer they are going to be to you. So I bought this piece of software called Follower, recommend it 1000%. It's like Hootsuite, but a lot cheaper. And I think you can get like a lifetime membership right now on AppSumo, which is an absolutely fantastic deal. But I purchased this, and my VA, you can look at her messages here. She loved it. She mentioned that it makes her life easier. And because of this, she is more willing to help me grow, gather more data. Since I have purchased this piece of software, I've also been able to go through and give her access to an ad analyzation piece of software, which is great because it allows me to compile data from all over the internet and put it into one single place so we can very quickly look at winning ad creatives, look at winning ad copy, and all of this together is not something that I would have been able to achieve had I not given my VA a specific tool to help her complete her job faster. So if you're wondering what was the difference before I hired a VA versus now that I have everything developed, an SOP, clear outlines, clear goals, different tools, different software. Well, surprisingly, or not surprisingly, depending on how you think, the difference was night and day. Before, we had no idea what we were doing. Myself nor my VA, we were not on the same page. She was listening to me. I was regurgitating what I wanted her to do or what I thought I wanted her to do. Now that we have these clear goals and procedures, it makes everything super simple. So let me know in the comments, what do you find the most difficult whenever you are trying to hire a VA? Do you find it difficult locating somebody you can afford? Do you find it difficult hiring somebody and telling them exactly what to do? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. For me, everything mentioned in this video, the SOP, the clear goals, and the clear processes was the most difficult for me when I was hiring my VA. So if you like this video, why not hit the subscribe button? Why not hit the bell so you can hear from me every single week where I come back and talk to you about different aspects of growing my business so that you can grow yours and you can start to grow every single day. It took me about 6 years to figure all this out. I don't want you to have the same issue. But that's pretty much it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.